Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss potential energy. So we have already discussed the kinetic energy possessed by a body. That is, whenever the body moves with some velocity, then the energy possessed by the body is known as its kinetic energy. Now we have also discussed work energy theorem. Now here we are going to discuss potential energy. This is very important. You need to understand it very clearly. See, whenever we consider a body and we do some work on the body such that there is a change in the position of the body, the shape of the body, the size of the body, or the orientation, that is configuration of the body. All these happens in a body when we do some work, and because of this work done, whenever there is a change in position, shape, size and orientation, then the body possesses that work done as its potential energy. We say that the body has a potential energy because some work has been done on it to change its shape, size, position and orientation. Now, to understand the concept here, let us first take some examples. Suppose here we consider a body at the surface. Let this be the body at the surface. Having a mass, a certain amount of mass, say m, and we lift the body to a particular height here. That means the position of the body has changed. We have done some work on the body to lift the body to a certain height, and the position of the body has changed. So now the body possesses potential energy at a particular height. Let us take some examples. Suppose we take a balloon here. Let this be the balloon. Now we blow air into it. What will happen? The size of the balloon increases. Now, the size has changed. So, this balloon now possesses potential energy because some work has been done. So, that work done is stored in the balloon as its potential energy. I hope this is clear. Two examples. This is the first example where we have seen that the position is being changed. So, the body now possesses potential energy. The second case, we have seen that the size of the balloon has changed. So, it possesses potential energy, and whatever potential energy the body possesses, it is actually the amount of work done to change its position in the first case, and in the second case to change in the size of the body. Whatever work is done, that is the potential energy. Let us take another example, the third one. Suppose we take a spring. Let this be the spring. We fixed it at one end and we stretch it from the other end. What will happen? The shape of the spring changes. There is a certain extension in the length. Let it be given by x. So, we have done some work because of which the shape has changed. The spring has got elongated. So, whatever work is done is stored in the spring as its potential energy. I hope this is very clear to you. Another example. Let me give you another example. Suppose the fourth one. Suppose a magnet is there. Let there be a magnet. Let this be the north pole of the magnet and let this be the south pole of the magnet. Now, we keep this magnet in between a pair of magnetic poles. Let this be the north pole and let this be the south pole. What do you think? What will happen? This north pole, this magnetic north pole will repel the north. of the smaller magnet here, and the south pole will attract. So the north pole will, a force will act on the north pole in the direction as shown here. And similarly, in the south pole will be attracted towards the north pole, and this south pole will repel it. So you can see there that the magnet which is kept here will start rotating. There is a change in the orientation. Okay, now some work is done on the magnet. You can see the south and north pole of the magnet, and because of this poles of the magnet, a force is exerted on these poles, and because of which it rotates. So the orientation changes. You can see this is the direction in which the magnet is oriented. After some time you will find that the orientation has changed. Now this is the position of the magnet here. So there is a change in the orientation. So this change in the orientation is because of some work done on the magnet. This will be stored in the magnet as its potential energy. Now look at the examples once again. First example, we have seen that some work is done because of which the position has changed. So the work done is stored as its potential energy. In the second case, we have seen that the air is blown into the balloon. So the shape has changed. So whatever work is done is stored as its potential energy. In the third case, we stretched the spring and we have seen that there is a change in the shape. So the work done is stored as its potential energy. In the last example, we have seen that when we place a magnet in between a magnetic pole, then its orientation changes. And this change in orientation is because of the work done on it, which will be stored as its potential energy. So there are different types of potential energy, and in all the cases, the value of potential energy will be different. Like you cannot give, as you have seen in kinetic energy, whenever a body moves with a velocity v having mass m, the kinetic energy will be given by half mv square, irrespective of the kind of motion it is having. The formula always remains half mv square, but in potential energy you will find the work done to be different in different conditions. Like when we pull a body or move the position of a body against the gravitational force, then the work done, that is the potential energy, is mgh. Whereas in case of spring, you will see that it is half kx square. So there are different formulas for different potential energy. Okay, so here when the orientation is changed, then also you will find a different value of potential energy. Potential energy here will be given by minus m dot b. What is m and what is b, that you will understand later on. B you have already studied in class 12, that is magnetic field. The unit is Tesla, and m is the magnetic dipole moment. So you will see that there are different values of potential energy in different conditions, and the formula are also different. I hope this is very clear to you. Now see, we have discussed here the potential energy of a body, which may be defined as the energy possessed by the body by virtue of its position. Let me highlight it so that it becomes very clear to you. Position, by virtue of its position, shape, size and configuration. It also represents orientation. Okay, so we can write here orientation. Okay, so whenever these things changes, then because of some work done, then it represents that it means that the body will possess potential energy. Now let us discuss potential energy of a system of bodies. Now we are not considering a single body but a system of bodies. Let me just read out the definition here. The potential energy of a system of bodies may be defined as the amount of work done in bringing the bodies constituting the system to their present location after having been removed to the position infinite distance apart. Let me explain it. Suppose there is a system where there are many bodies. System means there are bodies which exerts force on each other, but no external force is there. Say these are the bodies M1, M2, M3, M4. Now you have to find the potential energy of this system. What you will do is you will take all the bodies to infinity. M1 will be at infinity, M2 you take it to infinity, M3 you take it to infinity, and M4 also, all of them. M3, this is M4. So when you first take them to infinity, then you have to bring one by one. Say M1 you bring first, then M2, then M3, then M4. The total work done, all the work done, the total work done to bring them to their respective positions from infinity, to their present location from infinity, is known as the potential energy of the system. I hope this is very clear to you. Suppose these are the masses only, so the force between them is the gravitational force. Okay, between these the interaction force is gravitational force. Now we have to bring them from infinity to their respective position, and we have to find the work done to find the potential energy. Okay. Now if there is gravitational force which is acting between them, then we don't have to do the work. It will be the gravitational force which will be doing the work. So work done by us will be considered as negative. So the gravitational potential energy of a system is always negative. We can write here gravitational potential energy of a system is always negative. Okay. Gravitational potential energy of a system is always negative. Now let us take another example. Suppose we consider a system in where there are charges, two charges. One is Q1, another is Q2. Now one is positive and let us consider one to be positive and another to be negative. So there is attraction between them. Initially we take them to infinity and we bring them one by one. Since there is attraction between them, so there is an attractive force acting, that is electrostatic force of attraction is acting between them. So that electrostatic force will be responsible to bring them together. So the work done again will be negative. We don't have to do the work. It will be the system which does the work. So electrostatic potential energy can be negative. But at the same time, मान लो that these two charges Q1 and Q2 both are having same polarity. Suppose you consider that both are positive. If both are positive, you take them to infinity and you bring them together. You have to do the work because there is repulsion and you are bringing them together. You have to do the work. So the work done by you will be considered as positive. So we can write here electrostatic potential energy of a system can be negative as well as positive. You should always remember whenever there is attraction between two bodies and you take them to infinity and bring them together, the work done will be negative because the system is doing the work. So the potential energy obviously of the system will be negative. But when we consider the repulsion between them and we want to bring them, then you have to do positive work. In case of electrostatic, this is static. So electrostatic potential energy of a system can be positive as well as negative. I hope this is very clear to you. Any doubt you can post me the doubts. Thank you.